right now, Irma is undergoing intensification. It's already a 60-mile-per-hour tropical storm, and it's expected to become a hurricane shortly thereafter. Um, there are satellites currently. There's a satellite currently looking at the winds in the system. Um, it's currently, I believe, up to the low 50s in terms of knots. I believe it's 55 knots now, the VMAX. So that's about 60, low 60s in miles per hour. So Irma should become a hurricane in the next 12 to 24 hours, and a major hurricane in the next 3 to 4 days, as it's approaching the Leeward Islands. But model guidance suggests that it will lift up north and pass north of the islands, but any track south could cause the system to interact with Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands and cause major destruction there. And that's not going to weaken the system much. It may disrupt it slightly, but not weaken it significantly. So this is a very big concern, and this could cause a lot of issues. And that's what I'm concerned about. And if it doesn't interact with Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, it could be even worse. Then it'll interact with the Bahamas potentially and do untold amounts of destruction and damage there, because the Bahamian Islands frequently get hurricanes, but some of the islands are really not much above sea level, and they could get completely inundated. In addition, the waters in the Bahamian Islands right now are extremely warm. Upper 80s, there's been some 87s, 88s. And once you get a hurricane in the Bahamas with those kind of water temperatures, a Category 5 is very, very, very likely. The only reason there hasn't been a 5 in the Bahamian Islands lately is because of the timing. Some of these systems had dry air, a lot of wind shear, had to battle a lot of wind shear coming across the Atlantic. This year, Saharan air layer is less active than normal, which is why the National Hurricane Center said we might get up to 19 named storms this year. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, because last year I thought we were going to get that much. And this year I kind of revised my forecast a little down. I expected like 13 to 15 named storms. And we're already up to the number 9. Irma is already 9th already. So yeah, we're already up to 9. It's not even September yet. It's still August. Well, we have one more day to go until the first day of September, and we're already up to the 9th letter. Of course, it's nowhere as active as 2005 was. And we're less active than 2012, but I think we will see about 16 to 17 named storms this year, definitely. Also, speaking about Irma, there's several different tracks it could take, all regarding a little typhoon that's really weak right now in the Western Pacific actually. It's Sanvu. They expect it not to become stronger than a 1. And it's going to kind of meander off the coast of Japan for a couple of days, but then it's going to intensify rapidly, start moving quickly as it gets absorbed by an upper level disturbance. As the system transitions into an extratropical system and becomes cold core, since it will get entrenched in colder air loft, it will undergo rapid intensification. So the system will get larger. The winds will weaken, but the system will get larger. The wind field will expand rapidly, and the pressures will drop rapidly. So you might have Category 1 winds, the pressures down to the 940s, 950s, kind of like Sandy. And then it will kind of wind itself down and go into the Bering Strait. That will cause a ridge to build over Alaska and the west coast. And that will send a trough down to the east coast, which, depending on the timing of that trough, could either spare the east coast and cause Irma to go out to sea, or be its kind of undoing, or, be very, very bad for the east coast, or could cause a lot of destruction. If the trough is deep enough and it's slow enough, here you might have a high to the east, high here, low here, and just slingshot up the coast. It was like 1938. Or maybe a slower version of that, maybe like, since if the low is not too powerful, maybe like 20, 25 miles an hour just going up the coast. And that kind of speed, from the time it leaves the Gulf Stream to where it reaches Long Island, is maybe 24 hours. Or 12 to 24 hours, and might not weaken much. You might have a Category 4 leaving the Gulf Stream, make landfalls at 3, and then you get 1938 all over again. But there'll be a lot of warning. So you won't have a 1938. You might have basically a bad, very bad version of Gloria or Sandy for Long Island, basically, for eastern Long Island. Or it could just, or the, as I said, the upper level low could be slow enough, or slow enough but not too slow, that'll kick it out to sea. Or if it's too quick and just goes zip, it will miss the storm entirely, cause it to get stuck under an area of high pressure. But it will still open up a slight path that could go northwest, and then another high pressure will take over, cause it to go west again, and then as a high starts sliding east, cause it to go up the coast and, impact maybe the southern part of the United States, like North Carolina, South Carolina, and then impact the Northeast as a heavy rain and wind maker, maybe like a nor'easter, or maybe like a Floyd type scenario, or that trough doesn't even form or doesn't even come down that much, and it gets stuck in an area of high pressure and it impacts Florida or even goes into the Gulf. That's the many possibilities with Irma right now. So the track of Irma right now is very complicated. I cannot make any bets or promises on where it's going to go. Usually it's set in stone where it's going to go, but there's currently things in play that are way beyond my control that I even having difficulty thinking where it's going to go. But the general consensus is that it will go up the coast. It will track northwest and then go north. It's already 1 a.m. and I still have not looked at the midnight run of the GFS, the 0Z. However, I will take a look at it because the 18Z looks very threatening to eastern New England, but doesn't make landfall, becomes very close. We'll probably have some hurricane gusts along the Cape if that scenario wins out, if that's the actual scenario, and tropical gusts in New York City with some rain. However, the ensemble members, 11 of the 20 show U.S. landfall, and a few of the others have a close call, while others have it go off the coast. Every ensemble member of the GFS now has a hurricane. 11 of them making direct landfall, and a few others having a close call, like the operational, and a few others going out to sea. Now I'm going to do the midnight run, and I will put in the description what I saw with the midnight run. I either might make another video or I will make a video in the morning where I'm actually recording the computer screen to give you a better description. But this phone doesn't record the computer screen that well. Maybe I will go to my friend's place where I could, where he has Camtasia Studio, and maybe there I'll make I could record the screen and show you in higher graphics what I'm observing. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.